Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Monday morning. Got a big show lined up, some really cool things we're doing today. But first, our weather, as always, our outdoor weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Some good programs they got going this summer. A lot of aviation-oriented careers are being set up, and they've got them there at Haney, so check them out. Our high today is going to be all the way up to 87, low 74. Our water temperature right at 83.6, so we still, everything's in good shape as far as water temperature. Now remember, this Thursday, summer solstice, the longest day of the year. Today's going to get started on Friday. The day's going to start getting shorter. So go ahead and take maximum use of these maximum hours we have in the outdoors. Our moon phase, every Monday I do our moon phase, brought to us by Sandhill Seafood. And we're going to have our half moon is going to be on the 20th. It'll be a couple of days from now. We're half moon. And the full moon of June now will be on the 28th of this month. The full moon coming in at the end of the month. So that week before that full moon is going to be some fine fishing and river be getting right. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn, looking on Monday, June the 18th. Great tides today and tomorrow. But getting on into the weekend, we're going to get back in a neat tide. So really, if you get a chance to do some inshore fishing, the next couple of days is going to be good. But don't let it stop you. But it's going to be really strong today. Our marine forecast will be south-southeast at about 6, and the high tide now will be today at 1 o'clock, and the low tide will be at 10:15 tonight. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, folks. We want to take sort of a different situation and start off with Monday morning. This is usually how we end the week up. We're going to start the week up. Last Friday we had Ronnie on, so I didn't get to do a lot of map work. But what I want to talk about today, first of all, we're talking about that bicycle Ronnie has down there at C&G, with that little motorized bicycle. You can either pedal or motor. And the area I was talking about, I didn't get to show it to you on the map and all, but the area I was talking about, and we've got to make sure we can clear this, but this is a peninsula I'm talking about right through here, and it's just, you can walk it, but it'll take you half a day to walk and half a day to walk back. But I always wanted to get a bicycle and go down in this area right in here. With that being battery powered, I'm thinking that would be able to do that, but that's the area I was talking about. You can go all through this area in here, and you're talking about fishing by yourself and really getting a really cool place. That would be it right there. So that's, but that's not really what I want to talk about today. I wanted to get on in there, and I mentioned last week about I was fishing down in St. Joe Bay, and I was talking about different areas and all. Let's get acclimated and show you where we are. The big thing I was talking about, I've talked a lot about sharks lately, and I just keep posted about them. But, so you see where we are now. This is kayak launch. This is actual cape right through here. That's a cape. Got a kayak launch right in here. And then, of course, here's Black's Island up in here. But what I wanted to show this morning, I felt real strong about it. I want to show you these channels. You have some, these are not man-made. These are natural channels that come through here, okay? And I want to show you the two biggest sharks I've ever seen. And I want to show, one of them was about 4 or 5 years ago, and what he had done to come through this channel here, we were fishing. We had a good drift. We were fishing. Gail and I were fishing this way. And a big shark would come up here on this grass flat. There's a big old grass flat here. But I just want you to be aware of these channels. As we're getting into scallop season, a lot of y'all are going to be scalloping down there. In the other place now, I'm going to put Black's Island right here in the center. Okay, this is Black's Island right here. These are cool channels. I mean, it's almost like they're man-made, but there's those channels that come through here. So this is where a lot of people will be scalloping. But see, these sharks now, they know these channels in here too, especially this one right here, because they swing around, they come through here, and they'll come up on the flats and go back, they'll come back through here, and both of these channels here are very strong, and I've seen big sharks, and this is where we scallop. We all scallop all through here, back down in here, but these natural channels, I just want you to be aware of that, and it's really neat that they show up on Google Earth. Now here's pressed nails. Up in here is pressed nails, so, but I mean, look at them coming through here. Okay, so just be aware of that. Know those channels there is great fishing. Okay, now Black's Island now has a dock here, and we've floundered up in here and all, but that's great fishing off this channel coming back here for speckled trout fishing. I just want to get you familiarized. And a lot of scallops now this year should be around Conch Island, right in this area right here. In fact, that's probably one of the first places I'll be checking when the scallop season rolls around. But I just want to take a good close look at that. Now, the only drawback we're having, the only negative thing I see, and this is part of the evolving nature of the area, there's so many people now, everybody and their brother are launching their kayaks here. So this area here is getting fished really heavy. Every time I go, I'm seeing 4 and 5 kayaks in here. I used to come up here and fish around this area here, so I basically don't fish this area anymore. Let the kayakers have it. So I'll stay up in this area here. But just be aware that there are going to be a lot of kayak launches in here, a lot of people coming in here on kayaks. So it's just, you know, give them a right of way too. I mean, they don't have a motor and you do. And while I'm talking about sharks, they're doing a lot of construction here too on the highway. It's really interesting. They're adding a lot of rocks and everything. I don't know. They fight a constant battle with, you know, this is the highest eroding place in Florida. This area, this highest coastline erosion right through here in Florida, according to the experts. And the other quick, while I'm here down here, I want to go ahead and talk about Indian Pass, because I haven't talked about it lately. The second biggest shark I've ever seen was right here in Indian Pass. We're in a canoe going across the St. Vincent Island. Oops. And see, that shark was so big it flipped around. And there's a huge shark. This right here, I wouldn't swim across there. If it offered me $1 million to swim across there, I wouldn't do it. That right there is a shark feeding ground. Okay, so all right. So anyway, I just want to bring those up to you. Okay, the triple tail red fishing is going to be good in here all week long. These oyster bars while I'm here back behind this area. I really hadn't talked much about this area back in here. And that's the other area I was talking about, taking the bicycle on St. Vincent Island. Again, we got to get the legality of it, but a lot of times you'll take a deer off these sand dunes up in here. If you got that little motorized bike, I mean, you can really cover some territory. In fact, bicycles, folks, that's what they use all the time. They're bicycles, you only get 2 hunts a year, one primitive and one for sandbar, but a lot of people pedal those bicycles, but that's hard pedaling. I can attest to that. So a little battery will help a lot. So it's going to be interesting to see how they approach that. So anyway, I just wanted to show this to you on the screen and all. We're going to go back to the desk now. We're going to take a break and get back to the desk and talk about some other things. Okay, welcome back. We've got all kinds of things to go over today, but we're going to do it. I wanted to go ahead and you know, summertime, we love to fish and do outdoor stuff in the summertime, but we're sort of restricted as the time we're going to use. I love going in the morning at about 10 or 11. I love late in the afternoon, but middle of the day, I just don't like to get outdoors. It's hot, one thing, and the sun's not good for you. So as a kid, I started reading, okay? As an outdoors, I want to tell you how I fell in love with reading. I was like maybe 3rd or 4th grade. And it was one of those lazy summer days, early part of the summer, and my mom had been to a yard sale and found some books. And my mom didn't have a high school education, but she knew reading was important. She could read and all, but she read the Bible every day of her life. And she had brought some books home from that garage at a yard sale, and a little sack of books like that, hardcover books and sort of torn on the edges and all something. And she said, "Son, I got you some books if you want to read them." And I didn't even know what they were. And I remember the top one, I picked it up, and the name of the book was The Last of the Mohicans. I said, that's about Indians. I love reading about that. So I just started laying on the couch and reading it. And it was a fascinating book. I just loved it. That's really, that summer right there is when I fell in love with reading. Because I just, you know, it was written by James Fenimore Cooper. And well, I didn't know anything about this, but it's a great book. And I didn't know, you know, what it was. And I remember when I got in high school, they sent us a list in English class of books that you need to read. If you're going to college, you need to read these books. That's what it told us. And I was looking at that list. I hadn't read hardly any of them. And about the middle part, it said, The Last of the Mohicans. I said, I've read that book, so I'm going to read some more of these to go to college. So anyway, all my life I've enjoyed reading, especially in the summertime. But that was my seed planted right there by my mom when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and I never will forget it. And I've tried to do that with other people too, give them good books to read. Well, and our family, we do these kind of things, and I still love reading, especially summertime. Like I said, I like to take a couple of books and read them. A lot of times they have nothing to do with outdoors. Sometimes they touch on it. But I just read this book last week right here, My Father's Business. Okay, can y'all see that? My Father's Business, okay, by Cal Turner Jr. And it's about the guy who founded Dollar General. And I love it. It's a true story. Cal Turner Jr., his dad founded Dollar General. And up in Scottsville, Kentucky, about 50 miles north of Nashville. And there's this story. And what I wrote some notes. I recommend it to you. I read it. You know, this Dollar General is on the Fortune 300. I mean, that store came from nowhere, and all it was just simple hard work. They had a strong work ethic. They believed in. They wanted to sell to the working class America, and he was very, very successful. But he had a strong faith and believed in what he was doing. And I got tickled. Some of the things. The grandfather actually started during the Depression. He'd buy a bunch of stuff on sale and put it in another store and sell it. And that's sort of how it started. And it was how it evolved. And the family, it was a family business. You know, Cal Turner Jr. worked there for 37 years as a CEO. From his dad had worked it since the 60s. And his dad insisted that Dollar General sign be yellow and black. Okay, so all the Dollar General and the trucks, he wanted them yellow and black. He kept it locally there in that little town of Kentucky forever. Now, they did eventually move to Nashville because they could get more help. But here's some of the things, what he wanted to do. I wrote down a couple of notes. He called him, this book was written, ironically, by a guy named Rob Simbeck. And I know Rob. We see him every year on the CEOPA conference we go to, and Wendy and Walter are real good friends with him, and he had invited them to the book signing about 3 weeks ago. So Wendy got me the book because of reading that she loves to do, and she actually had it autographed. He autographed the book to us, and I was really tickled about that. In fact, he's autographed by Cal Turner Jr. So that was cool. But what I enjoyed about it is a true story in Americana of a small business, and they just kept doing things. Everybody tried to copy them, but they couldn't. They just caused the things they were able to do. So good reading. Not much outdoor stuff in it. I got tickled at one of the outdoor things he brought up. His dad told him, he said, son, now when you hiring these managers, the store managers and all, and promoting them, you make sure you check out their lifestyle and what kind of quality person they are. And if they play golf now, or if they fish, you need to be careful before you hire them. Make sure they don't do too much golfing and fishing. He said, now if they golf and fish, he said, don't hire them as manager. They won't be able to be a good manager because they're going to enjoy doing that stuff too much. So I thought I got a kick out of that. So anyway, Dollar General, and that book is called My Father's Business. All right. So that's your book review for the summer. Read a couple of books this summer, relax, and do it in the middle of the day when it's too hot, or at night when you're tired and all. Find out a couple of books. And speaking of my mom, I felt bad. I was going to show this picture on. On Father's Day, and Ronnie Groom was here. We got tied up, and I didn't get to show her. This is one of my favorite pictures of my dad. I know all of y'all had a good Father's Day yesterday, and this is my dad in the later years, and he called him. That was a typical picture of him catching a mess of fish, and that's crappie. He called them speckled perch. I still call them speckled perch, coming out of Lake Talquin down there, and that was so typical in that old truck of his. And anyway, I had a wonderful father and a wonderful mom, and I always give tribute to them. So I wanted to show that picture. Now, speaking of pictures and all that, I was able not too long ago to acquire my granddaddy's property, was 24 acres up there, right on the edge of town. Right, it was right on the edge of Gadsden County and Liberty County. It's not a big deal, but my granddad had it when I was growing up, and I got it back in the family. So anyway, I had a guy land clearing on it the other day, and I not just the area around, just so I can put up a pole barn, put my camper there, and spend some time. And he got it cleared and all. He did a wonderful job with it. Barry Fant from Sumatra. Barry's a good outdoorsman. He works there at Dewberry there in Bluntstown. So anyway, I'll give him a call. He needs some good work done on land clearing. But what I was going to tell you, we ran across, I was up there. It took him about 3 different weekends to do it. It took a little while to do it, to get it right, and he did a wonderful job. But I met him the other day up in Bristol to tell him what a good job he did and pay him. He said, Mr. Chester, he said, I want to tell you something now. You need to be careful up there on that property. I said, what's up? He said, I ran over. He said, I killed 4 copperheads. And he said, another 3 or 4 got away that I didn't get to run over with a bulldozer. He said, that place is loaded with copperheads. So, with that being said, I know it's summertime, and I was going to talk about copperheads. And if you have property up there and all, be careful about it. I looked up Florida snakes. I know snakes pretty well, but anyway, I went to the FWC, the Florida Museum, University of Florida is where I got the information. I just want to show you a couple of things here on snakes and all. And because there's snakes all over. Here's a copperhead in the top right-hand corner now, okay? Top right-hand corner, the copperhead, and then look at the cottonmouth. Now, both of these are you know, usually they say the copperhead, it won't kill you, but it's really strong venom. Usually it's fatal to an older person, to a younger person, but if you're strong and healthy, most of the time they say you will survive. Now, cottonmouth, you won't survive many of those, but these are Florida snakes right here. You know, just scarlet and timber, and we'll see a lot of them, water snakes and all. And then I've got some more down here, the coral snake. Here's the difference now. We're talking about red on yellow. Okay, let's see. Red on black, a friend of Jack. Red on yellow will kill a feller. Okay, so that's the color combination. So red on yellow. Right there in the center part is a coral snake, right here. Okay, that's either red by the yellow. And then the king snake has got the black and the red border. That's a big difference on those snakes right there. Okay, and then they talk about different, these are all friendly snakes, rat snakes, a lot of rat snakes, queen snakes, and all these ribbon snakes. Got all those in here. And the indigo, a lot of black snake and all these all are in Florida now. We got a bunch of snakes here, but we just want you to be aware of it. But I'm going to really be aware, getting back to that copperhead, I'm going to really be aware of this snake right here, okay? Because there's a lot of them out there. So if you see them, like I say, it may not be fatal, but it'll make you really, really sick. Let's take our final break. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in St. Joe. We're looking at times of 5:12 to 7:12 this morning. That's that morning tide. And then this afternoon, 5:38 to 7:38. Good times to go. I got a couple more pictures I'm going to show. I'm going to show you a black and white one here. This is a throwback. Actually, his daughter put it on. This is Jack Wingate fly fishing, and Jack Wingate was a true legend. He owned Seminole Lodge up there in Lake Seminole. He was the one I told you about, was able to actually walk across that property before the dam was built and get all kind of Indian artifacts and save those, and he put a lot of them in museums and all, but he had an amazing collection, and he was just a legend in fishing. And the Seminole Lodge, I mean, that's where BASS started their tournaments and all. And anyway, that's the old Jack Wingate, and his daughter had that on, so thank you. Okay, move up a little bit. Now I want to show you this picture. That's what got me thinking about snakes. This is my high school classmate up in Gaston County. Can you tell that's Gaston County land? Look at that green grass and that cattle. But Diane and her husband, they have a nice ranch up there. And so what happened, the snakes were getting in her eggs. Now Diane was brilliant and all, and she could have been an engineer, lawyer, doctor, but she ended up on a wonderful lady and back on the farm, and mom, and just had a very happy life. So here she is with snakes, and she killed 2 snakes because they come in pairs. They were taking her eggs, and y'all are familiar with that. A big old rat snake, what it is, and you gotta, if they're getting their eggs like that. So anyway, I wanted to show that. So be aware. Now also, remember we talked about fishing, the bass fishing boys I had on the show Thursday. I'll tell you, they own, they put together Greenwater Expedition. This is Connor Shaw. So Connor sent me some pictures, and here are the pictures of some of the bass they caught, Greenwater Expeditions. All right, there's one here, and here's another one, and this is Connor. Okay, that's Connor McLean there. Why don't you look at how healthy these bass are? Now that's Connor Shaw with his girlfriend. That's a good relationship there. If your girlfriend likes to go fishing with you, I bet she'll end up catching a bigger fish most of the time. All right, here's one at night. Okay, and again, they catch and release all these bass, and you can probably catch some of these same bass. Okay, but look how healthy. You see the darkness on them. Usually that's in a dark water sandhill pond up there, up in the upper end of those ponds. But I asked him to send me some pictures. That's Connor McLean, okay? Again, a healthy bass right there. And then here's another picture of it here, okay? And 1 or 2 more healthy bass. That was it right there. So anyway, that's Greenwater Expedition. You know, those boys were on the show last Thursday, so give them a call. They got a great idea of what they're doing and all. Now, one more thing I want to talk about right here, and I don't want to end the show on a negative, but I want make sure that we stay aware as outdoorsmen. Someone sent me a picture the other day. These folks, St. Andrew boat ramp. Now, they don't allow trailer parking. They've taken away the trailer parking there, the St. Andrew boat ramp, a little while back, and some people are still parking there because they feel they have a strong right. Well, the guy showed me a picture of they unhooked the trailer and towed it off, and then unhooked the guy's truck and towed it off. So then they showed me a picture of that at a towing service was a picture of his boat, of his trailer and his truck. So be aware, they will tow your truck and trailer away, but it's sad to me that they take away a parking area that lot was originally for the fishermen to put their boats, and outdoorsmen and boaters to put their boats and trailers parked right there. And the growth of St. Andrews has finally taken over, and now you have to park, some guys say 3 or 4 blocks away. But there should be room at the city marina, and I really don't launch there anymore. But I say, anytime you get a boat ramp taken away, it's terrible. But it's bad also to get the parking area taken away. So just be aware of that as outdoorsmen. And now the next worst thing is charging for the boat ramp, because you know how I feel about that. And Mexico Beach and St. Joe are the ones that are doing it around here. I feel strong about the city. Panama City won't do it. I feel strong Bay County won't do it. And I know Washington and Liberty County won't do these public boat ramps, neither will Calhoun, because we've got so many outdoorsmen that are in positions of power. So I ask you as an outdoorsman, become active in your area in politics and all, just for nothing else, for the sake of your family and for your outdoor rights, and all of this stuff won't be taken away. I feel very strong about that. And there's no way they should charge us to launch our boats in Mexico Beach or Port St. Joe. That's just flat out wrong. And I think I've said that before. And then when you lose a parking area like that, at least there's still other areas to park. And so be careful. If you do launch your boat down there in St. Andrews, don't park in the original parking spot, because it's not it's safe for other functions. Now, you can park around in the corner. If you do, they're going to tow it away. And it's terrible coming from a fishing trip, and you're tired and got all the fish and all, and you look around, where's my truck, where's my trailer? Went down that towing shop. All right, I'm going to wrap up today. Got a big day coming up tomorrow. You do something good for your friends today, and help out your fellow man. Have a great day, enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.